Good morning, Frederick Sapone here. This morning we're going to talk about how we taught ourselves to be unhappy and how to reprogram ourselves so happiness is our natural state. So here we go. You were born happy. You were also born a very, very smart person. And you wanted things. As a small child, you didn't have the language skills to get what you wanted, but still, you wanted things. So you used what you had at your disposal, your emotions. When you couldn't get what you wanted, you became frustrated and unhappy. You began to cry. And you noticed when you cried, people paid attention to you. You also noticed that if you cried long enough and hard enough, people eventually gave you what you wanted. They gave you food, changed your diaper, burped you, rocked you, spoke loving words to you. Now that you discovered how to get what you wanted by using the emotion of unhappiness, you used your trick of unhappiness anytime the adults in your life weren't giving you what you wanted when you wanted it. You became very skillful at getting what you wanted by being unhappy. Every time you wanted something, you cried because you didn't have any language skills at the time. So you cried when you were hungry. You cried when you were full of gas. You cried when your diaper was full. You cried when you couldn't reach something. You cried when you couldn't communicate something. And then it was up to the adults to figure out what the heck you wanted so you would quit crying and be happy again. So during your growing up years, you used the trick of being unhappy so often to get what you wanted that you forgot it was a trick that you did. As you grew older, you continued to be unhappy to get what you wanted, but as you approached adulthood, being unhappy to get what you wanted worked less and less. Now, in spite of it working less and less, you continued your unhappiness trick because you figured if it worked so well when you were a small child, you knew you could make it work well again. Well, you never did make it work well again. Occasionally, someone would feel sorry for you and give you what you wanted, but it was more out of pity or charity, or just so they wouldn't feel guilty about you being unhappy, or just to shut you up. By this time, your use of the unhappiness trick had become an automatic habit of thought that operated in your subconscious mind outside your immediate conscious control, causing you to be unhappy even when you didn't want to be unhappy. Finally, you gave up wanting things because the toll of being unhappy to get what you wanted wasn't working for you enough to justify using it anymore. In addition, being unhappy was ruining your health and pushing people away from you. The problem is you forgot how to be happy without wanting things. You thought you could not be happy unless you had the money you wanted, the house you wanted, the health you wanted, the job you wanted, or maybe the relationship you wanted. You always had your happiness tied to wanting something. And so if you didn't have it, you used your unhappiness to motivate yourself to get there. You forgot that happiness attracts and unhappiness pushes away from you what you want. The only person unhappiness ever really worked on was your parents, because they just couldn't bear to see you being unhappy. Now, these well-intentioned people rewarded your unhappiness by always giving you what you wanted when you were unhappy, but later on, as you got older, they rewarded your unhappiness with their unhappiness. You see, adults don't reward unhappiness because most of them have so much unhappiness of their own. However, if you're willing to give up being unhappy and learn how to be happy for no reason at all, the adults in your life who desperately want to be happy themselves will gladly give you everything you want if only you share your happiness with them. Happiness is priceless, and that's why it's so attractive, and attracts all good things to you. Now here's the thing. Until you reprogram your subconscious mind to be happy for no reason at all, your existing programming will consistently and repeatedly neutralize every positive thought you have, causing you to experience even greater unhappiness. Your existing unhappiness program living in your subconscious mind will make sure that your best efforts to achieve what you want always end up in failure. And it will convince you that you're flawed or defective in some way when you are not. Now, once you reprogram your mind to be happy for no reason at all, every positive thought you think will feel so real to you and conflict-free that you will automatically begin attracting the good things you want into your life with no effort at all. Yes, you will be taking inspired action, but those actions will be fun, easy for you to do, and make you feel good about being you. To be happy for no reason at all is simple to do, but first you must issue a new command to your subconscious mind to take the place of the unhappiness command you unwittingly gave your subconscious during your growing up years. Now, to learn more about reprogramming your subconscious mind with no effort at all, visit my webpage, frederickzappone.com/subconscious_mind.html. After reading my page about reprogramming your subconscious, if you have any questions at all about how to reprogram your subconscious mind, write me. I answer all questions free of charge and without obligation.